Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Fortlock MFW1078 82. This is a cam lock. This is also a tubular style cam lock. We're going to remove it here from the packaging. We're going to take a closer look at it. Where will you see cam locks? Pardon me. Where will you see tubular locks? You'll see those in vending machines, coin-operated laundromats. Other areas where space might be a bit constrained, you know, the tubular style or barrel key, I guess some people call it. This is a people will know it as an ACE key, an ACE, by the Chicago Lock Company. Lots of different variations on how these work in terms of the particulars. Where the nib is located. Are they key retaining? What way in which do they turn, etc. The construction of these is not unlike and I don't know of the history, it's not unlike a reference to the Brahma lock. Mr. Brahma was a 18th century lockman. He invented a certain type of cylinder that had a radial key with cuts on the sides. As you put that key in, I actually have a Brahma lock here. I'm going to show it to you. And again, I don't know the history, but that Brahma lock idea, that radial design, is not necessarily different than this tubular lock that we're dealing with, because you've got a key with preparations around the radial edge of it, and it has a nib as well. As you insert that key into there and you push it, you will be able to activate it. So it is not unlike a Brahma lock. B-R-A-M-A-H. I don't know, 1754. It's just a total guess. I don't remember. I've read the history of the major players in the development of locks over the last couple of years. The dates and the names become a little bit foggy, but Brahma was an Englishman who, you know, brought the world of locksmithing and lock construction radically forward. So the tubular lock is kind of like that in the sense that you've got these you have cuts in the perimeter of the key, and those cuts are at different depths. Couple of small preps there, over here a bigger prep, okay? And the pins that are inside of there need to nest in those preps, and how deep that cut is in the perimeter of the key determines whether or not the key is going to work. So in that regard, it's certainly like a Brahma lock. I am not a tubular lock expert at all. I will be in the future reading up on them. But let's do a visual tour. We've got the cam lock body itself and a couple of original tubular blanks. Okay, what we then have is a couple of cams. We've got a straight cam and we have an offset cam. Okay, you'll notice that there are round holes in there, and of course those square preparations will go over the edge of the lock body, which we'll get to in a moment. Into those round holes can go these pads, you know, so that you can achieve a nice tight margin, and those pads are in 3 different thicknesses, as you can see. You will have your cam washer. That is going to dictate how that lock is going to behave in terms of stop and start, where the key can be removed and where it can't be. Obviously, this square adapter will go down onto the post, and then your cam is going to, of course, fit onto that. Okay. I may not have that exactly correct just yet, but we're definitely going to discover how this works. The nut to hold it onto whatever you're installing it onto. You're going to have an anti-rotation washer. This would be appropriate for a wood application. It would actually go like this. And these little wings are meant to bite down into the wood. That's a lot of wood for this to bite into, that's for sure. Your nut and your star washer, that's going to be for your cam being installed onto the back of the plug. Now, let's take a look at the link below this video and get to the manufacturer's page and see what we can come up with in terms of what this lock construction is. And let's switch to the camera view to do so. Pardon me, to the screen view. Okay, now this is the item that we're looking at, and the link to the there's not a lot of data here. The link to the manufacturer's page is here, and when we click on that, we'll be able to get to the product catalog, and when we fire that document up, we've got 24 pages of Fort locks from CompX. Okay, happens to be on the 13th page where we're going to be able to see our MFW1078, which is right here. Okay. The Gem 1000 series locks. Pin tumbler. Multifunction, that's going to certainly mean something as well. Multifunction means that we're going to be able to control how this item locks and unlocks. Now, in our visual review earlier, I missed showing you one item, and that one item is here. These two stop cams. I only showed you one of them. There are indeed two of them included. And what happens is when you install those, this stop cam has a 180-degree preparation. This one has a 90-degree preparation. What that means when you install it first onto the lock body, it will permit you to rotate your key only 90 degrees clockwise and 90 degrees back counterclockwise. This will allow you to rotate it 180 degrees. The fact that the lock has the ability to insert the nib in 3 positions allows you to remove your key in 3 positions. Let's hop back to the camera view. So the nib on the key. There's one nib on the key. That's literally called the nib. That can enter in 3 different places. That means it can also exit in 3 different places. Here is the 90-degree stop washer. 90 degree. I'm going to put that on the lock, and we're going to be able to illustrate. When you look at that, there's a shoulder stop right here. When I put the key in, when that's installed, I can only rotate it 90 degrees because that stop washer is limiting me. And as you're going to guess, when I put the 180-degree stop washer on there, I can now turn my key 180 degrees in either direction. Okay? Those two combined with the fact that I can remove the key in one of 3 different positions is going to allow me to do anything I need in terms of where the cam is going to be positioned when I'm in the unlocked position, where the cam is going to be positioned when I'm in the unlocked position. I can remove the key in any case, and I can do that because of the nibs, because of the preparation of the face of the cylinder, and my 2 fancy stop washers, my 90 and my 180. Okay, let's jump back to the screen view. Now when we hop back to the screen view, we can see everything that we're going to get included here. They don't show the little rubber tabs, but nonetheless, it's all here. The 15/16 A dimension, they're basically showing you the length of the cylinder itself. And when I hold my tape measure to the cylinder, it is indeed 15/16. Okay, so we're going to pull that out and look at the tape measure a little bit further. As we go through the rest of this book, it might be of tremendous benefit for you to review these Fortlocks available. Cam stops, as we talked about earlier. Wonder washer, they call it. Wonder washer. I'm going to scroll through here and see if they give us a part number for a key blank. And there are certain, actual locksmiths can obviously copy tubular keys, which is what this is called. I don't have a tubular key cutting machine. I've never had, one time I had the need to do it. Parts and accessories. Okay. material if you're going to pin the material up. This doesn't, well, maybe it does. Okay. Cams, that's certainly going to be very helpful, very useful. And then finally key blanks. K137 for your 1000 series gem locks. Okay, your master key, I don't know how the key changes when it's master keyed. Something changes. There's probably a warding that's been removed somewhere on the key, or it's milled differently, most certainly, is how that's going to be. Great catalog to peruse through, and then more cam work is here as well. All of this is going to be linked to down below this video as a cut sheet for your review. Let's finish up this video on camera. And as I was saying earlier, 15/16, that's the length of the body itself. Okay. 15/16, that's where that's coming in. Nice quality lock, vending machines, coin laundromats, the whole 9 yards. That link below this video will take you to the manufacturer's website as well. Now, Fortlock is under the CompX umbrella, I think. I'm not an expert when it comes to the lineage and the history. I know that they have, you know, I imagine bought other lock manufacturers, the Chicago Lock Company. It was called the Ace key. They basically invented the tubular style key. A history of lock that I do plan on investigating in the relatively near future, because I've seen references to the ability to master key that material, and I'd like to understand how they go about master keying it. Because I don't know that it's just split pin is how it's done. So very curious. Anyway, if you have any questions on the Fortlock MFW1078 or any other Fortlock CompX product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.